For this game, Benji Fishy had said he wants to play against PRX, and
he got
his wish. He might be regretting that, but we are heading to a map pick where Heretics have looked really good with this Neon.
Look at this push up already from PRX on the defense side. They absolutely want to brawl. Heretics, though, have to be ready for it. But how? How do you stand against this avalanche of defenders? Wood is going to limp away from that early encounter. Here's one shot. Has to cross the mid that Devi has on lock.
Yeah, doubled up even with something, and Devi had been patiently waiting on that angle anyhow. Nice little 10-second round coming through to open this game. PRX yet to lose a pistol. Heretics yet to gain an ounce of momentum.
And encounters like this early in the round are just going to stretch your cohesion in these firefights to the very limit.
What we saw there, frankly, is classic PRX on this map. They play standard stuff, but they play defense in a far more proactive way than most of the teams in the current meta. Most teams play a lot of safe positions, then go for retakes. They are constantly doing 4-man, 3-man pushes down, A main, down B main. Heretics are going to need to be very concerned with that.
Inching now over towards the speed side of the map. See something back up here to bolster this B presence. Standard Viper wall here from Heretics, and definitely indicates they intend to head this way momentarily. Looks like already the Dizzy is trying to scout the way. Unique Neon composition. It's going to be tough to find a foothold, though, as something takes his and gets off the line.
Fair amount of damage done, though. Now it's something with the rifle. May want to toss that over to Forsaken or Devi if they can actually meet up, and it looks like, that's going to be the case. The much healthier, full-armored Devi will take control of that Vandal. This Team Heretics want to pivot back towards mid. With this Neon, they like to go for a lot of B splits, a lot of fast-paced action.
Devi here, from multiple angles, can operate here, can play off the turret, take contact as they try and push up in the kitchen. Here's something, says, I'll have my rifle back, thank you. And there it is. Another quick round as PRX don't give an inch.
Maintain all the rifles, just lose one of the pistols, basically as good as it gets. Heretics invested nothing so they can get the absolute max here. The one round they did actually win on Pearl was an anti-bonus.
There's pretty risky stuff from something there, but par for the course. PRX fans will be very familiar with that.
Let's go!
Now, of course, buy up here for PRX. Heretics, rather. Forsaken has a Bucky.
PRX have 3 players B main. Time to walk right at the attacking team, as they always do. Heretics, they're patient, they're waiting, but they're losing the duels. Great trade from Rienz, though.
Little one-way, something tries to put together on a dime, but Rienz is a little bit quicker. Now we'll remove the presence from mid. As Forsaken starts to take advantage with his spaces given up. There will be a turret to spot him out. Patman with the Bulldog. Stacked up here alongside Jing. Does the bite match the bark for PRX on this B side?
Now, when Minibu is alive, they love to go for a bolt in tandem with a recon to take back Yellow, but without him, it's going to be much tougher. Patman wants to fight this, but the Dizzy connects late.
Macy's not there. Jing actually got off that live, but hi, Wingman. He needs to get ahead of it, though. The Span's coming in through the smoke. Still, PRX cut down to 2. Here's Forsaken with the Bucky.
Last player standing.
It's all going to be on Devi now. Benji and Woot, armed to the teeth, but no plant just yet. But no Wingman to get it done for free.
They want to slow this down.
30
catch
seconds
Devi
left.
if he's pushing, but he's peeking out, and wow, he gets another. Heretics, they convert the anti-bonus, as they did on Pearl. But they escape with only 1 gun. That is devastating for their economy.
So the spacing looks better, trading into that B side of the map. They sustain heavy casualties to do so. But perhaps they're starting to get a feel for that up-tempo style that PRX are trying to throw at them defensively.
You can see that they were waiting. Minibu was just chilling on that angle, but didn't win the duel. Christy called it out on the desk that Minibu does need to step up. He has given so much util on this map to thrive when they're on attack. He needs to come to life.
Something already wants to assert himself today as the Owl drone starts to make a foray on the B side of the map. like Patman wants to play safe for the time being. It's something with an outlaw this round.
Posts up on that deep A line. Wants to go even further off the drone that Forsaken is sent for him. Does actually spot out Boo.
One way will be refreshed. Give Patman the edge, but it's going to be a dizzy on out. Patman already on the spray. He got his. Heretics
Well
slowed up somewhat on their way over towards this B side of the map, but now that Viper Wall is something they can play from behind. Nanoswarm's triggered.
That was a great way to fight that from Team Heretics. Multiple players jumping out to face together off of that dizzy when the crosshair would be thrown to break it by a defender. Something now posted up at mid. You can see PRX on the rotates, getting towards this B side. Will Benji catch the timing?
He's got a player though coming from his left. He might not be ready for the do push. And there it is. Once again, PRX give as good as they get.
Rifle upgrade for Divine now as well. Wood solo. These shock darts have done tremendous damage. It's going to force out the Thrash. Can it actually get a connection? And even if it does, can anyone get a kill off of it? No.
Decent ping though on the side of PRX, but here is Forsaken with the Odin. Jing wants to try and push up. Wood is very, very low, but there's still a spike to defend now. Heretics just going to try and hang on here. Hold on against this relentless onslaught, but Divine wraps on yellow. And Wood just has nowhere to go.
PRX on this map are just so oppressive. They're taking so much forward space, and they're so happy to make fast, bold defensive pivots off of that information to stack proper sites. This was a great moment for Team Heretics that we highlighted, but from there you just have Forsaken coming back in with the very rare Icebox Odin.
One enemy remaining.
Heretics at least tried to manipulate the pace, or at least dictate it to some degree, but PRX are always asking for more, always trying to assume some of that real estate, that mid push that catches Benji out. Eventually, Forsaken steps up on yellow. Heretics are going to be on the clock every single attack side round.
And here we go, 3 players ready to fight from PRX towards A, and they find another first blood.
It's Mini Boo down at the start of the round. Again, Wyatt. Something! He's on the line, able to get back, and he knows there's more where that came from, the shorty. God, he's thirsty for it.
Spike
It is up to Boo, as it often is. Again, this will be PRX with another stunning start to the game. This, by the way, is a team, PRX, that has an 83% attack side win rate on Icebox. So God forbid we get to that part of the map and they're ahead.
Now, even at this juncture in the game, they've beaten Team Heretics to getting multiple ultimates. The one that Heretics did have, that Thrash, had already been used by Wu to try and convert that pivotal gun round. It was unfortunately lost for them.
One enemy remaining.
The economy for PRX is getting out of control, and Heretics, they have opted to go for another early timeout here. You certainly can't blame them. Neil needs to get these guys' heads back in the game. I mean, back in for the first time.
You know, some players, they talk about how things slow down when they get into the server, right? Feels like you're walking through molasses, time slows. I feel like against PRX, it's the opposite. These guys set those phases to warp feed and make it very, very hard to stand on even footing at this pace of play. And Heretics have been that kind of team that have wanted to dictate said pace, right? They play Neon on this map, for God's sake. They want to make these fast rotates, take that mid control, be the ones that forces you to be reactive, but they have never, in this series so far, been in that position.
When they've gotten dominant wins in their run in EU, it has come from being relentless with that pace, by disrupting the defenders with the Neon. But you can see that they've gone into this with as they intend, because they know that PRX are just going to be sending it at them on defense. So they're not getting off to those fast, aggressive starts that they want to. They're not able to claim that space early. Forced to use a lot of utility to try to re-clear late, and most of these rounds, they're just losing the opening duels. Neil said on map 1, but they did not bring their A game. In fact, they were nowhere near it. Only 2 rounds to their name at this point across this series.
Okay, now no turret to play off of in Kitchen. Nice little lineup. And already those one-ways being set up. We'll have Patman occasionally to swing on them, and he hears DC come out, so he knows there's the pitter-patter, a little Heretics footsteps on this B side of the map. Devi's been drawn over in that direction to assist. NG, the curry spot, okay. Not too shabby, my friend. Holds it down admirably. That is definitely going to throw a wrench in the works for PRX, and now that lockdown will allow Devi to at least get some space. And Rienza's waiting for him.
caught by the players who were able to just get out of that lockdown circle. Play in the corner. Credit to Benji Fishy. He just wins it out straight up. 2 for 1. And then Patman was trying to anchor back yellow, but that's a position that you really can't be in alone against Team Heretics.
Jing has got very little to see. Yeah, likely just to try and walk away from this one with cover going out. Weapon intact, even though there's enough currency here for PRX to continue to take some risks and try and keep a lid on the economy. Jing does not like his chances.
That anti-eco flawless they had earlier has put them in an excellent economic position. But like you said, might as well just save, keep the cash rolling for PRX even in this round loss. I think Patman is realized on this one that trying to anchor back yellow solo against the way the Team Heretics like to fight towards B is not going to be the right choice. They send too much util back there. It's tough to deal with the Neon.
But Benji's ready for this inevitable mid-push. And I think Divide does not account for the pocket that's left in the corner of that A side by the lockdown. He sort of doesn't check this at all.
My ult is ready.
I know. Guys, we're doubled around from last map. But
It's a positive.
Guys got a quick map.
They'll take it. They'll take it. I mean, for a team like Heretics, who are just filled with talented, mechanical shooters, that's the first time any of them have really gotten a highlight-worthy play. Credit to Benji.
Fury now from Rienz. Speculative. Doesn't yield any information whatsoever. They are aware, of course, that the Odin is in attendance today.
And those would be positions that PRX would typically love to just play into, but it's actually towards B where they've gone full aggro. Something posted up close with Patman, and that's allowing the rest of their squad to be pretty steadfast towards this A site. Odin is going to be obnoxious to deal with.
But no one was watching pipes at the time. Forsaken actually gets back.
This could get dangerous, but now that the lockdown is used, that Hunter's Fury is going to need to be expended to break it, unless they just intend on getting out of here, which is going to be the case.
Oh, the Shocky does not hit. Well, that lockdown will be intact. And now Heretics able to make use of that to get entrenched here at this A side.
And they're going to want to use this Hunter's Fury with the Paranoia to get back in. This is fast. This is pacey from PRX.
Here comes the Hunter's Fury, belated as it is, but it's going to be Jing going to work with him. He's gotten in and under rafters, something at a timing. But again, it's Benji that answers that late round lurk. Wu deals with Forsaken. Jing gets his cap. He was already able to find these first 2 kills. But to expect him to make it 5, even for him, might be a little bit too much. Wu with the shoulder pick, shot through the knee, still an adventurer, though. Boo and Benji happy just to stay entrenched. A hard fought round here for Heretics. And finally, PRX train is forced to throw the brakes on.
Wu beginning to hit some shots. I'm going to need to see that Benji one on the replay from his point of view, please. That looked ridiculous. Something on the updraft. The blade storm just plucked out of the air. All right, Heretics heating up a little bit individually. Ooh. That's crazy. That is a mental shot from Benji, who is starting to hit.
Still cranking 9. Good to see.
PRX, they're on defense. They do display something that they are typically very good at, which is very, very quick floods with excellent utility. Now here, more classic PRX, 4-man push up towards this A side, getting all of the space, collecting that orb, and then they post someone up and immediately go stack the other side. This is the name of the game for them on this map.
Once again, though, it's just going to be Divide B for now. Having one away from that Viper's Pit, but there's Benji again.
He's hitting. Push up. He is hitting. Patman trying to trade this, he does, but Benji gets out of the way. Oh, this is stunning stuff.
Benji Fishy, that's 3? Caught by the Paranoia, forced to give him some ground, but now the youngster has some wind in his sails.
Spike down B.
Right, Wingman is going to be thwarted in his plant attempt, but the Thrash is going to go ahead now to pave the way. Surely Jing spotted now, detained. He's got Divide to watch him. Relay bomb comes in, a mini boo with a slide across. Heretics finally turning up to play.
Stunned just in case he starts throwing hands without his gun, I guess. Why not? All right, Benji's heating up. It looks like he's playing an aim trainer. Just has guys from all different angles swinging onto him. That awareness to catch the second that was coming out of A was so nice. And that is a read on a typical PRX play. Knows that when they're making that full rotate, there's going to be someone that's pushed up in A main.
4-2 is Heretics' Icebox record. The only losses to Fnatic. In fact, 5 out of 7 of their map losses in EMEA, stage 1, including playoffs, went to Fnatic.
Standard comp, and they've had a lot of success with it.
Benji so far has been feasting, playing that mid. That's where so many of those kills have originated from. PRX just not respecting Heretics there. I think they've now been forced to bend the knee somewhat.
With this Viper's pit down, that's a fairly big commitment here. You do have Patman with that close range stinger to try and find an opener, shut down and execute if it comes in, and you're just expecting from Team Heretics at some point, if they intend on getting into this pit, which certainly looks like they're going to do, you're waiting for Riens to use this Owl drone, clear things out.
Take flight. Jing with the hero rifle will watch the mid pivot, but yep, there's going to be action over here towards the pit. Batman cute, but not good enough. Tries to outfox the Owl drone.
I respect it. I respect the attempt.
Devi gets up on that line pretty quick. Miniboo, who's been quiet in this series and in this map as well, just needs to be a bit of a nuisance. Remains at large here over the site. And Snakebite's going to make it hard to play in from upper rafters. This is good looks. The hero rifle is still in play. Jing might try and wager it for something here. We'll take a pretty prescribed location, one that's going to be watched for at the back of the site. Heretics have seen enough. It's up to Jing here to step up, get himself some value off this round potentially, but once more, he will be sorely outgunned, outnumbered. And outdone by Benji. Flawless round here for Team Heretics. Finally steering the ship with the wind.
You're going to have an opportunity now as well to get a lockdown for Benji, who's just one away. Batman trying to time that. Hey, I'm not mad at it. He's got the stinger, on an eco round. Go for it. But he is caught out. And you can just see from Miniboo's point of view there, hitting this A site, how many options he has playing the Neon, getting into so many unexpected, unorthodox positions there can be incredibly effective.
So something's taken up the op now.
And that is the adjustment that was certainly called on that timeout from the prior round. Wants to post up towards mid, doubled up with Jing. A bit of protection for him.
Turret just got cleared. Looks like the go signal there for Heretics on the B side. They've just indulged in a surge forward here at B.
And their main intention really was to get that orb, get the lockdown. Recon is sent in to clear out back yellow from Riens. Fast lane, pretending, hey, we are getting that position back yellow. Shocks as well, and now we're going to slowly pivot back. The spike has just been over there with Woot on A the entire time, but this is the danger. Something has been waiting for this cross.
On a very tight line. He's going to see one. That's Riens trying to cross, dealt with. Something wants to repost the line, but very quickly, Heretics all got across to A. And he's going to know that in a couple of seconds.
And look at PRX, they're already rotating off this B site. They have Patman, Deep Yellow, and the other two players are making their way to A with some haste. And they try to flood in. They might. Nah, not with that lockdown, though. Certainly going to be kept at bay.
I don't think PRX have the mechanism with which to remove that, so they're going to have to respect and pull off the site. That early rotate now kind of nullified. We're going to get a plant down. Heretics look to dig in here and anchor.
And it looks like they want to come right back in. Recon, Paranoia, here come PRX.
Heretics Viper's pit now to play with Woot. Ensconced safely within the poison walls. Mr. Saken sees this easy come his way. Happy to spam through. Eventually PRX are going to have to commit. Woot has been dealt with. The Viper though, spawning the pit still at large. Jing wants to get past this now. Spam in Boo's direction. Miniboo though dealt with. Patman is in here, sees the Viper, and there it is. The wall comes down, as does the curtain on Heretics in this round. Boo with a parting gift, but that's all that Heretics can muster.
Overwhelmed by the numbers, no real positions, deep sight. PRX are just able to get right back in for free and overwhelm everyone in that pit. It's somebody getting that opening kill, and then Spam connects on to Woot. Cooked from there.
You can see how much PRX invest in getting that midline held. They send Jing with something. And then whichever way you slice it, whichever way they rotate, something is going to see someone.
Benji Fishy is actually picking up this attack operator, and it makes sense with the way that PRX play. Exploit their aggression, allow them to make their way into the angle that you're holding to get an opening kill. Keep the game slowed down.
Alarm bot out.
Benji here to very passive play. He's just watching for the tube push down. That's not the plan for PRX this round, apparently. Once again, it's the one-way being set up by Jing for the sake of Patman, the solo B player right now.
Deploying drone.
Orb taken by Forsaken into the deep drone on A. We have read this story before. And the PRX to adjust some of their players more towards that B side. Patman feels the need to retreat, at least temporarily. Recon for back yellow yet again. Here comes that Dizzy. Team Heretics making their way in, claiming this space.
At some point, they had to disrespect the one way. They had to get moving. So Heretics now have the yellow control. Benji still waiting for mid. He might not get anything with that up here.
Team Heretics, they do need to wait for this wall to come back up. Oh my god, PRX, they just want to go in off the paranoia with a recon.
Looking for their own timing, marching to the beat of their own drum, but Woot, what a stunning mosh pit there to shut him down. Devi's able to find his two. And Benji's not in a hurry to get involved. Heretics have done well to trade up on this B side. This has drawn something in Forsaken across the map. We're going to have an advantage attack side post-plant.
This is looking highly awkward towards mid. Forsaken left on an island towards B, just wants to slowly maneuver forward. Busha
Correction?
get this kill. What a snappy shot!
Now, have to deal with Woot, tucked in corner by yellow. Doesn't want to give himself up a Forsaken. Don't even think about the knife, son! Here comes the Thrash. Something Nosy now needs to gain some altitude, but finally Benji is rewarded for his patience in the round.
That lurking operator comes in at the very end. The final hour. That was interesting from PRX that they go for this free-fight attempt before there's any effort to actually get the spike down. The wingman wasn't planting. It wasn't really a push forward. They just tried to catch raw timing. It does not work out. We're finally seeing
Yeah, I guess
the Alex that we know.
The question is, like, what is the cue that PRX are playing off of there? If they're just trying to manufacture a timing of their own, it doesn't work out because Wood has a really nice mosh pit.
Now here's some pace from Team Heretics, getting that neon back yellow quickly. They know Patman could be in this poison cloud, so some shocks going in there, but they don't actually connect any damage, but forced to retreat.
Definitely a bigger commitment to the B side by PRX in this round. Hunter's Fury, lockdown, both available here in the last round of the half for the defenders. So behind the Viper's pit, here come Heretics. They are really looking to take some snowman space potentially here. Wyatt,
They just do it again!
Timing doesn't pay off once more. Hunter's Fury now for Forsaken. Gets a tap on Benji, still no plant yet.
Right here.
That Hunter's Fury just used a little bit late. Boo has gotten his way all the way into the A site, and there's more than enough time for Team Heretics to make this pivot. Yeah, Forsaken can catch a couple in mid, though.
Is he too far forward? Woot, I like the high-low setup. That is brilliant! Heretics always aware of the thrust up mid from the defenders. We've seen it all half so far.
That is a great double face there.
30 seconds left.
All right, now the little things are beginning to come together for Team Heretics, and we're finally seeing a PRX who were utterly dominant, now struggling a bit with some of their timings. Again, they refight into B before there's any attempt to get the spike down. That Hunter's Fury comes a little bit late, and Heretics just have their crosshairs placed on all of the angles that they could be pushing out from.
Devi's giving himself away. No reason not to fully commit to this one, but Esbu takes him out. 7-5 half for Heretics.
And as you mentioned, Heretics have or rather, PRX have a, what, 80+% win rate on attack Icebox. So, you know, despite the 7-5, they are not out of the woods yet.
Close half. Finally, some light from Heretics. Stick around. We'll get a quick break, and we'll be back with more Icebox.
Heretics have had success on Icebox too. It's actually typically, as far as the scoreboard, Benji Fishy and Woot that are putting up the big numbers as Minibu draws a lot of that attention on the Neon. This is fast right now from PRX, collecting too early.
This mid thrust here from Heretics might have fumbled. Ren's waiting. Whips in the night. Yet to leave poor, but eventually someone's going to raise anchor and get to it. Rian gives himself away. Jing wins it out. What an ill-fated encounter for Heretics, and it's up to Boo again. Boy howdy, what a mountain he has to climb. Spike, of course, already planted. This is what you ask for PRX fans. Getting off to a good start with a pistol win here.
All they've had are good starts. They've won every single pistol. If Team Heretics could win this map without either pistol round win, that would be a tremendous feat for them.
And they shrunk, of course, the lead to a singular round. And once again, it's a short round, Wyatt. This early engagement here in mid. Jing sees action over on the B side, gets involved there, then whips around. That's an all-timer. That's an all-timer.
He knows someone is there because he couldn't move forward.
His body blocked.
Hold up.
Let's go, boys! Woo! Our pistol, what?
All right. PRX are just too good on these pistol rounds. It's going to be Miniboo investing actually into the Marshall for Heretics on that deep angle from Yellow over towards B. Pretty standard there with the shock and the molly to deny that early access to the orb from the defending team.
Benji is absolutely playing the most important position on the map. Just as we saw from something in the previous half. Unsurprisingly, Patman's moved up. Miniboo punished though on that little swing. Tried to set him up with a Marshall, but he will be ruined. Run over there, given no space at Yellow whatsoever, and Boo now is about to feel the net close in. Patman up walkway sees, what was that? Okay. Up on the ledge he goes. Proud as a peacock, but Rienz is able to find his brace of two. Once again though, it's a heavily disadvantaged situation. Rienz desperately trying to avert an even game here. Likely has too much on his plate. Devaya will silence him.
Fair enough, bringing the three most important rifles into the next round. Cash from the spike plan as well, so PRX will be more than happy with that. Team Heretics have done a nice job on these anti-bonus rounds. That has kept them in the game
One
here.
enemy.
Otherwise, things would have
enemy
really
remaining.
spiraled out of control early. Some nice shots from Rienz, who is just a consistent presence for Heretics. For me, really just has all of the aspects of the game on lock. He can really do it all.
It's like the Heretics team have said, we are not kids anymore. We're not rookies. There's no excuse for us to drop these important matches, and they've recovered well here on Icebox, but might be an inflection point lying here in this round as both sides have rifles. It's a very healthy bonus for PRX.
Taking the time at the moment, something has been allowed to take all the space and be made. Oh no, that is disastrous. Boo just doesn't think that someone would be that close.
Last time it was Miniboo got caught out at Yellow. This time, Boo has just got a little bit too close to the sun.
Swarm grenade out.
Bear in mind, this is Team Heretics with absolutely nothing left in the bank. This is must win at the moment, Patman. This fight is so awkward. That's as messy as it gets.
The late paranoia comes in, but Patman definitely supported in that engagement. Something eventually that was put to bed on the B side of the map, and this has precipitated a pivot. Now with mid control, PRX can go towards A and not worry about getting caught, but it's a pump fake.
What a timing for Patman to catch, and they have Forsaken playing towards A again. They could really pivot anywhere here. It's just, we're playing TDM, who wins that out.
Patman the Viper.
This is a mental
The
realm.
stabilizing element of PRX, by the way, is just taking duels across the map. And he has opened it right on up for PRX.
Go, go,
Miniboo
go.
has to play second fiddle now and try and make use of that mobility to cross the map. Woot is already set up in Crow's Nest, though.
Does have the wingman to actually pressure a defuse, force some people to swing out. Maybe that's a way in, find a pick.
A small gap in that smoke will be challenged. Woot has to drop down, and the spacing isn't quite there, apparently. Miniboo steps out only to be riddled with Vandal shots.
PRX are just so ready to swing together at any audio cue. Boo so frustrated in this moment, not expecting that anyone can be pushed up that close. Something can hold that for free.
Oh man, that was... I mean, Benji's been credited with some very sharp moments, even on this map. Look at him shut down something as he raps over towards belts that many rounds ago.
Team Heretics, they're bringing in 5 sheriffs, 5 regen armors. Obviously, they have the shooters to pull off a round like this.
Miniboo forced off pipes there. 410 smoked out, giving something a staging ground. Okay, all in rafters. Heretics committed to anchoring this site with these sheriffs. How far does their gun skill get them against a fully armed PRX team on a roll?
Listen, they've got the right stack to do it. The weapons might be decent enough. Something shut down early. They're trying to get into this site. PRX Jing is pushed up, but he can't connect.
Messy stuff! Divine Forsaken now, got to pick it up, but there is Forsaken. Quick response, and he doubles down. Oh,
He's susceptible to just one shot from it, but he's able to get out of the way, but he can't! Read by Rienz. He's too smart, too aware.
Yeah, with the fury of Olympia. Now, Devi has to
I got the spike.
recover the spike and put this together. Both of his opponents, half armor and sheriffs. He has a Vandal to his name.
And he has to fear a potential flank because he was out of range from the turret that was placed. Wants to double back now. 30 seconds to play with. Does he just try to clear
30
this out,
seconds
get back to A? Does he try to gun it to B? Yeah, he wants to leave.
Mid-angle.
He wants to leave. He's hoping that in this situation, Team Heretics would just leave the 2 on A and then, you know, go for that advantage retake over towards B. But when the spike goes down, that will allow a rifle to be collected
10 seconds
perhaps.
left.
Or no, they just want to go for this with the Sheriffs. Rians does have a recon.
Devi has a turret to play contact off potentially. Does he have the time to set it up? Yes. Not too bad to have this Sentinel utility at your disposal in such an important clutch.
Look at Devi. He still has to be weary about this flank as Rians is making his presence known forward.
Trying to get ahead of the Owl drone. Does he have a timing on boost? Spot him out. Util in hand. Devi is divine. What a Red Bull clutch to keep PRX well and truly on the tracks.
Team Heretics know that that round could have absolutely shifted the momentum, but it's a 4-round run for PRX now in this second half. Disaster for the European side.
Finished.
Forsaken comes up clutch with these 2 kills to get them back into the round.
Enemy remaining.
Both Rans and Booster pulling up their trousers, util in hand. Can't play off of each other at all. That is huge.
They feel like they didn't have the time to waste either to collect some of the rifles that were a little bit deeper on that A site. They go for it with the Sheriffs. Might be regretting that decision at this point.
Jeez, the tension there between Weber and Nelzinho, it's palpable. So another timeout here. The last one available to Heretics on this map.
That's an absolute heartbreaker. This is Heretics coming off of obviously a run to qualify here, but then getting blown out in the regional finals against Fnatic. Neil, the coach, saying that was the first time he felt disappointed in the team after that loss.
That hits heavy. They've been a team for a while. And you heard what he had to say. Just in that halftime break. Not looking themselves. Now they've managed to find their way back into the game, but yes, they've got a rifle round coming at you folks, but Hunter's Fury, Lockdown, Viper's Pit, 3 of the most impactful ultimates you could ask for PRX. On the so far flawless attack side, they have 4 rounds in a row put together.
PRX just have the easy 1-2 ult combo right now. Get the space with the lockdown, drop the pit, and they've even got the Hunter's Fury late if the spike is really being pressured by a Team Heretics retake. They've got 2 ults they're relatively close to. Maybe they can get this orb. Maybe Root finds a kill, right? But you're asking a lot. Oh my god, the early Hunter's Fury double connection!
Oh, that's devastating! This was the round and Heretics were trying to shore up their half the map. Benji at least is able to lean in, intercede to find a kill. It is an awful way to start with, and he's pinged out again. He's got to give this ground up. All of the A side now belongs to PRX. Look at the timing though. Heretics trying to get in ahead of this, but Minibu is shut down instantly. And Benji, beleaguered as he is, on all sides, guns are trained at the killjoy. And that was absolutely diabolical.
Something gets an amazing deep position there as well, all the way back Rafter. That was eventually going to be the nail in the coffin on that round, no matter what. I was talking about Forsaken. He could use that in a post plant or just get an immediate drone tag. A double hit. Jing takes all of the space that was created because of that as well. Oh my god, whatever they had planned in that round. Couldn't even begin to guess. I mean, it was just out the window immediately.
That's as the Hunter's Fury comes in. You can see Weber just throw his head back. Okay, Heretics, credit to them. Still want to find a burst of speed here, but oh, the boys were waiting for you, Minibu. You were expected.
Yeah, just hoping the Forsaken would be in that closer tucked position that Asova will often be in, but was safe, playing back for the multiple players to guard him.
It's just filthy.
They're trying to make hero plays. You can't blame them. They've only got Sheriffs. PRX have absolutely shut them down. Their economy is completely out of control. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. All right, thank you. We can't have 2 knives in the debut game.
Yeah,
man.
cure for hypotension.
We cannot do that.
So very quickly, those 2 rounds fall. Heretics back on a buy. Now with Fraction Lockdown to work with. Like, I like the idea. Heretics obviously with a back-breaking round. They were virtually 2-dimensional after that one. Still want to go forward. play that PRX-esque aggressive B-side play, at least use their neon to get something. But man, I mean, PRX wrote the script for that. They were there when the deep magic was written.
6-round run coming into this with an 80+% win rate on attack. We're seeing exactly why. Deep recon is going to come through mid, and then something can swing off this with Patman. No one is going to actually be spotted by it. No, Benji caught, and there's a teleport into spawn. Disarray for Heretics.
Oh man, they're getting clowned on. This is the wrap around. They were trying desperately to bail water out of this quickly sinking boat. And they've already been cut down to 3 players, and Patman is on a timing, but there's an awareness here for Woot. He kind of knows it, and he's ready.
I was going to say, Patman, he's just in the walls at all times, but Heretics ready now. This is winnable.
Yep, something spotted out. Here comes the fast retake for Heretics. Good start. Forsaken dealt with Raptors control, assumed. Woot very sharp this round. Thrash here will look to find Divide, last standing member of PRX, and in midair he is detained. Heretics come up for air. It's a breather, a brief respite. But boy howdy, look at those wallets on the side of PRX. They are bulging.
Desperately needed round win from Heretics. They're losing players early, and they still manage to pull it off. They do a great job getting back into that site together. The distraction from Raptors, and then you have Woot coming lower. I mean, the distraction. Benji knows he's in there, but just can't do anything about it. It's that moment where something tucked in that deep position again is forced to look towards Rafters, and Woot takes advantage of that distraction to get a free kill. This is going to be such an uphill battle for Team Heretics, as they have to just face down a PRX that won't be saving anytime soon, if at all, this half.
It's possible Alex took exception with that round from PRX. I can't be sure. Wow! Oh, but he's not ready. He's clearing the recon, and Jing is just too far ahead of the play for him.
He just double teleports forward. He gets all of that space for free. You're never expecting it on defense.
Rian's has to salvage. The only player inside the A site for now, disrespecting the smoke at Rafters, and look at Patman. Pushed all the way up on B.
He's just got the craziest lurk timings. He's going to have to accelerate a bit. The Team Heretics try to get in off this fast lane. They're getting towards screens. It's slow right now. Relay bolt doesn't hit something. Here comes the lockdown.
He's going after it. By hook or by crook. Something is looking for this, and there's Patman on the lurk timing. Oh, the lockdown is popped out from under Heretics.
I can't with this guy. He's crazy.
And now Heretics know they really can't play off the site. They've got to commit. They've got to challenge this. Not too shabby there from Miniboo, but Jing deigns to descend from the ivory tower to deal with death blow to the
This is
neon.
winnable. Patman's too far away.
Can he get a touch? Unreal! The Red Bull clutch. A crucial one here for Woot as Wingman does the job. Man, they really had to fight scrappy for that one. Wyatt 3 up for Heretics, and they come out with a dub.
His little pal just gives him that effective 2 versus 2. Wins the highest impact 1v1. But talk about Miniboo. What an adjustment. Looks like he's already in the grave when he gets this 3rd kill. What is that, man? What is that?
So Heretics have taken a chunk out of that PRX economy. 1 round closer to their total. There's a lot of work still to do. We're going to have an early Viper's pit on the B side of the map. PRX clearly no interest in challenging it early this round.
Batman wants to go on another wild adventure.
Okay.
Go up 2 while the rest of the team are focused on Team Heretics triple stacked up. They go drone for drone. Oh my god, the last Hunter's Fury was really solid.
Nice moves there from Miniboo. Avoids what would have been a lethal connection. PRX had to be satisfied with a little bit of damage onto the Neon, but Miniboo also has that overdrive at the ready. Here's Jing again. They are never ready for Jing. From the top rope, he's able to find his... Rian's claps back now, has to drop to the side. This is good anchoring. Can he do with something? No, the shorty. More than he can deal with. And Boo laboriously will drag himself across the map to challenge this.
Planted.
Jing has just been an absolute animal on both maps. Countless first kills.
Boo here's a double swing. Gonna have to deal with it. Oh, the King's Horses and Men emerge. Then the Viper is dealt with. Match point now comes up. PRX. There was a narrative, right, if you're a PRX fan? Or even a hater. You're familiar with the feeding narrative, but it's never been less true. With Patman joining this lineup, that stabilizing force. They've been so clean. They've strung together 6 attack side rounds as the half began.
Heretics on defense have had absolutely no clue how to deal with Jing, getting in these absurd forward teleport positions, playing with so much more aggression than you would typically see from Omens on this map. Something! Connection. Wow. Damage for damage.
Yep. They both take a hit there. Ice Fury now being deployed by Rians. What is there to find here? Comes up with nothing. Patman hears him. How is he here already? The conditioning utterly broken on the side of Heretics, and now it's up to Boo again. 30 points of health to try and slow the PRX train down, but choo-choo, baby! We have more than left the station. PRX have arrived in the 6.